If I'm back online, I am. Here we go. Oh, God. When it rains, it pours, mate. Oh my God. What a long out that was. I think I've got everything sorted. Let's get this up. Um, Teddy, relax, please. Not now. Um, right. Let me tell everyone on Twitter I'm online. We're back. I'm seeing Lewis Hamilton top. Everything's looking okay so far. Um, Let me get a link. I'm back. Boom. There you go. Righty ho. Right. So here we go. I think I've got everything that I need to make sure that this is okay. I need to get that up. There's testing. Forgot about that. Boom. Everything is up there. Boom. Everything seems okay so far. Let me know once you're online if you can hear me, etc. etc. Let me just double check my mic is the right mic. Yes, it is. Yeah, feel good to go. Good to go currently. Jeez Louise. What a morning. What a morning. But look, if we're going to do these things during the season, then we've got to get these gremlins out of the way now. As they always say, always better to have these things happen during testing than during the season. So, hopefully, everything should be okay for the rest of the morning. We should be all good. We should be all good. And look, if Lewis Hamilton's top of the timesheet, then who am I? Who am I to not be online whilst that's happening? What are the timings? Right, we've got Sainz in second. Wow. Russell, Gasly, Lawson. Seems like a bit more of a spread than yesterday. I think yesterday, well, I mean, we've only had an hour today, but yesterday there was like at least, it was like a second between the top 10 in the morning. Um, but this, I can't believe it's raining out there. Wow. But obviously not raining enough for wet. Let's fucking go. P1. Yes, Ali. How's it going? How many laps has everyone done as well? That's what I need to fucking I need to sort out as well. I need to get my F1 TV up. But yeah, like that rain. Ooh, Russell's just gone off there. Yeah, like it just feels as if that rain might be a bit more serious. Oh, we've got Lando Norris here with Laura, Arsenal legend. Here we go. Here's Laura just speaking to Lando. What's she saying? Oh, saying the car feels like last year, which is a good start. Wow. That's what I mean about McLaren. I think I was saying that before I got cut off. McLaren are just like they're not having to catch up. Like so they're already starting with like a pretty good base. So we'll see. Like we will see, we will see, we will see. I think they're gonna be I I I can't see anything. anything other than McLaren being at least top two. At least they have to be, surely. Like, you just expect them to be, but we'll see. Like for me, I don't know. Between them and Ferrari, I think top two are going to be Ferrari, McLaren, and then behind them, Mercedes, Red Bull, and obviously then you got Aston, and then between Haas, Alpine, Williams, V Carb, like those four kind of fighting it out here and there, track dependent. Obviously, we know the Williams love a track with a straight, whereas whereas other cars, V Cub seemed pretty good at the beginning of last season, and then kind of obviously once teams started to develop, they kind of not tailed off, but weren't as strong. You saw Alpine kind of coming on stronger towards the end of the season. Obviously Haas, pretty solid, and word on the road is that Haas, even though they're not showing any pace in their kind of run times, like word on the road is Haas is like looking as stable as they were last year, or as promising as they were last year. And obviously they've got the funding and infrastructure from Toyota, which is a pretty good link for them to have, especially going into next year. So yeah, I guess we'll see with Haas how that goes. But yeah, like in terms of like this year, this is probably like the first testing. Looking like Ferrari versus McLaren for wins, and then American RB. Yeah. Oh my God, Max and Russell crashing out over like pointless places. I need that. Like, please give me that. Like, not even fighting for wins, not even fighting for podiums. Just like those two crashing out over like fourth and fifth. Like, oh. Perfect. What more could you want? What more could you want? That literally sounds like an ideal situation. Just for bants. Just for bants. Like, what more could you possibly want from that? Just trying to get this chat up. Here we go. And like, yeah, like for me, I can't really I can't really see anything other than that. And the thing is, with with testing normally, like I said, there is normally some kind of jack in the box of some sort. There's some sort of surprise here and there from someone. But in all honesty, like I'm not seeing anything on a timing sheet which is going to suggest anything other than, yeah, the status quo. From everything. Oh, Teddy, go away. So yeah, let's see how it goes. I mean, like, to be fair, it's mostly going to be about the drivers. And I don't know if you remember, but that Williams floor back at the beginning of relegation looked like this. Yeah, is that when people were crashing out at Monaco, and you had like the Red Bull car, or like the other car, and then it was like, wow, look at that. And then he looked at the Williams car, and it was like the bottom of a sled, like a literal like the bottom of like Santa's sleigh or something. Like it was ridiculous. But like I got flamed on Twitter for like comparing Carlos Sainz's first day at work photo compared to Lewis Hamilton's. I think people thought that I was making fun of Carlos Sainz. I was making fun of Williams. Like their facilities look depressing. Like, God, imagine, like you probably have no hybrid working. You're probably gonna have to be there every day of the week. And just like those like brown doors looked like the most depressing doors I've ever seen in my life. Like, honest to God, like it was just like, and that's why I compared them. But everyone, oh my God, everyone was like, obviously I didn't help by stoking the flames and doing like a fake apology. But I'm mean, I meant what I said. Everyone's just so sensitive about Carlos Sainz. People act like Carlos Sainz, right? Like they like what happens in Formula One, right? Which is cool. Like I like the stanification of F1. It's almost like we've seen what's kind of happened with like the K-pop online fandom thing, and that's kind of bled through into like everywhere. To be honest, it's bled through into like Western music, but then it's obviously bled through into like sport as well, and like which is cool. Like I love it. I think that's what creates most of like the funny memes, and all of that are like like hilarious. But they do baby the drivers. They baby these drivers. And Carlos Sainz is a 30-year-old man, guys. Like he is a man. And also, like, people get dropped from their teams every day, B. Like, he's gonna be okay. I think someone was, ooh, big snap from Piastri there. Like, people act as if Carlos Sainz was, like, kidnapped from Ferrari and then placed in Williams, like, under hostage. Like, he decided to go there. Like, he had offers from other teams, and he, with his own pen, decided to join Williams. Like, I don't understand what. It's not my fault. It's not Lewis Hamilton's fault. I mean, it is Lewis Hamilton's fault a little bit, but it's not Lewis Hamilton's fault that Ferrari wanted to sign him. Like, Lewis Hamilton didn't go up to Carlos Sainz, take his contract, rip it up in front of his face, tell him to kick rocks, and like Carlos Sainz had to wander through the wilderness, and oh, thank God he found like solace and a hostage at Williams. Like, no, Williams pay him a lot of money to be there. Like, and oh, just looking at that sideways whopper from Piastri again. Like, yeah, I don't know. I just found the reaction to that like insane. But I do think there's like some sensitivity from science fans, obviously, about Lewis at Ferrari. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, oh God, it's another whopper there from who's in the Williams today? Is that Science? Is that Albon? Must be Science, yeah. Um, Nothing I said was a lot. That's the madness. Like, nothing I said was actually a lie that day. Like, and in fact, all I said was a tale of two pictures. Everyone just started going mad. Like, mad. So yeah, I don't know. I find it like a little bit, yeah, it was a strange day. And then like Carlos Sainz Sr. following us after that was just like so scary. Like I genuinely, yeah, I am a little bit scared of Carlos Sainz Sr. Like whenever he seems like such a serious bloke. And also, like, he's like a legend. Like, Carlos Sainz Sr. is like a fucking legend. This guy is like rally champ. He's still doing the Dakar rally. Like, he is like a certified don. Honestly, when Carlos Sainz Sr. followed us, it felt the closest I can imagine it feeling is if like if the mafia turned up at your door. Like if the mafia turned up at your door and then like, or you could just see like some black unmarked cars like outside your window. Like that's how it felt. Like not he didn't even say anything to us, but he followed us. And genuinely, like, that was enough. Like, I was like, I'm not talking about this anymore. Like, I don't want Carlos Sainz Sr. on my case, man. Because like, if we're ever, like, in the paddock or something, and he clocks us, he's going to press us. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, he's followed us to keep tabs on us so that if he sees us, he can press us. And I like, you know what? I don't want it. I'm happy to say I'm pussy for that, but I don't want any parts of Carlos Sainz Sr. at all. Um, Talk about a fumble. Sainz thought he was hot shit. Um, I wanted a bidding war for his service. I mean, I think everyone thought like, oh, Carlos Sainz Senior, wow, he's on the market. But it's like Mercedes didn't want him, and once Red Bull didn't want him, it was like, where do you actually go from there? And probably just went to the highest bidder after that. Like, probably Haas were probably in for him. Who else is probably in for him? Obviously Sauber. That was one, wasn't it? Audi. Audi were like pushing for Sainz, and that was going to be like and they were probably going to pay more than Williams. And he just looked at that Audi project. Like, that project must not be that great. I mean, we'll see next season. Again, people like Audi, well, I guess Sauber. The problem with Audi is like, and I forgot to mention them as an engine manufacturer yesterday. The problem with Audi is that, for example, Cadillac have been able to work on the new regulations for time because they're not actually in F1. So the whole time, even when I think I saw Mario Andretti say, even though they're not in F1, obviously they were building infrastructure and they were like working towards being on the grid in 2026, just off the strength that we've had our bid accepted. F1 are gonna have to let us in at some point, which they did. So he said that they've been working on a 2026 car, for a couple of years, like for a year now, at least. Whereas Sauber are under the regulations where they couldn't touch it until this year. So obviously, whilst Audi probably been working on their engine for a while now, since they signaled their intent, Carlos Sainz must have looked at that project and gone, for him to go, I don't want to be at the back of the grid, but I'm going to go to Williams, shows how bad the Audi project must be. But I guess he's got, what's he got? 2 years there. See how it goes. See how Williams are in the new regulations. See if he, maybe stay there. Is it a team that could potentially, let's say Mercedes, steal a march on everyone else? The problem with having a Mercedes engine is that literally 4 teams are going to have a Mercedes engine. They're going to supply, it's going to be Mercedes, Alpine, Aston Martin, McLaren, and then Williams. So even if you do have one of the best engines, there's your Williams, there's still going to be 3 other teams that are going to be better than you in terms of aero. So I don't see Williams doing the same thing McLaren did, which is if you think about where McLaren were under Honda, we're talking McLaren were last, pretty much, not last, but also rans, right? Talking about 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th fastest team for a period of time. So to see for them to go from that to constructors champions is actually quite the story, which I don't think has been told that much. But it's from when Zach Brown took over, it's been it's not all been sunshine and fucking lollipops, bruv. The McLaren we know now, compared to the McLaren that were there in 2018, was it 2018? It's insane. So let's see if Williams can make that jump. It'll be interesting to see, but I'm not sure. So we'll see for Sainz. OG Undergo, 3rd time lucky. I know. I'm back out here. If you are watching, please give the video a like. That's much appreciated. Definitely helps spread to everyone that we're back online. Much appreciated. Sophie, do you think Sainz will go down the route of Alonso, making the wrong career moves without the championships? It's a crazy one. isn't it? Because with Sainz, I feel like actually he actually made all the right moves. But then when he got to the top, he wasn't able to maximize it. Hence why Ferrari were like, well, Carlos Sainz. I mean, to be fair, like, no matter what Carlos Sainz did at Ferrari, he would have had to have won a world championship for them to have not yeeted him out of that team. Like, it was always going to happen once Lewis Hamilton became free. Like, do you know what I mean? So I feel like with Carlos, you know, where was he? Toro Rosso, right? He goes from Toro Rosso to Renault. At Renault, he does well. Like, he is like a very good driver. Leaves Renault, goes to McLaren. At McLaren, starts to do really well there. Like, basically one of the best in the midfield. From McLaren, goes to Ferrari. At Ferrari, solid if unspectacular, right? You would think that he'd probably done just enough in the driver market. If it was like a stable driver market, you'd think Carlos Sainz, there he is, Lewis. God, it's the first time I've seen Lewis on screen for ages. Here's a replay. Ooh, does he go wide? No, no, they're just fucking showing replays of Lewis Hamilton going around. Looks good. Yeah. So under normal circumstances, I think he would have done enough to get a new contract. But unfortunately, it wasn't a normal driver market. Lewis Hamilton became available. And Ferrari had an opening. And yeah, like they kicked him to the curb. So I think this move, we'll see. If Audi come out and they're like better than Williams, then he's absolutely fumbled it. Like, he's fumbled it. But if he goes to Williams, and let's say Williams are like, you know, fifth, sixth best team, he can say, "Oh, look, like, you know, I'm part of the Williams fucking progression," and you know, and he's again king of the midfield. And if he keeps putting in performances, I think Carlos Sainz's career is more akin to like Sergio Perez, in that, you know, a great midfield driver, get to a top team, not really at the level required to be like in a top team, but maybe better than Perez, obviously, because what Perez did at fucking Red Bull is not really anything to write home about. But yeah, we'll see. I think the answer to that is to whether like, and the thing is, Fernando Alonso again. Sainz made the decision to leave the teams that he left. Fernando almost backed himself into a corner where he had to leave those teams. Like, it was untenable for him to stay at the teams he was at, because he had run the relationship down to the point where it wasn't possible for him to be at those teams. So some parallels, but not. I think Carlos. Hopefully, I hope he does wind up at a top team again, but I don't know where that would be. Potentially, McLaren. If Verstappen leaves Red Bull, which by all intents and purposes, everyone thinks that's going to happen at some point in the next 2 seasons. Everyone believes that, you know, I think it's, you know, Helmut Marko made no secret of his admiration for Lando Norris, made no secret of his admiration for Oscar Piastri. So you'd assume one of the two McLaren boys is probably going to be who they're going to go for to replace Verstappen. Assuming that, you know, I don't know if there's anyone in their junior ranks that they, you know, I mean, they've already got Lawson in there. So, so yeah, who says that he won't go back to who says he won't go back to McLaren? I think he left there, you know, with a good. He's left every team in a good relationship, so there's no reason why he couldn't go back. He might even go back to Ferrari. You know, once Lewis, let's say Lewis goes, there's nothing to say that he won't go back to Ferrari. You know, so yeah, it'll be interesting to see, definitely. It'll be interesting to see. Let me look at these messages. Have I spoken about? Big up Pericles. OG, haven't seen you. Yeah, I read that. I read that yesterday actually, whilst I was doing the what was I doing? I was doing the Barry Hart segment yesterday, and I was obviously like looking at that news came up like obviously whilst we were doing testing, and then I went to do it, and I kind of mentioned it. It's crazy how that's just come out. There's no direct quotes, but obviously someone's leaked it to the press. I don't know if they're leaking it to the press just to fuck with Ben. And I haven't seen any like, I haven't seen like Andrew Benson talk about it yet, or like any of the, it's definitely like a bit of an underground rumor at the moment that seems to have spread. Given Mohammed Ben Salem's growing unpopularity. But it's crazy. I think I saw someone talk about a conflict of interest. The problem is there is I don't want to say there's a conflict of interest, but being the FIA president and being married to a team boss is a bit mad. Is a bit mad. So I guess let's see what happens. Let's see. Mohsin, I'm streaming it on Sky Sports YouTube right now. I don't know, is it only available for people in Britain? Other than that, I would just get Nord and just get because I'm in Britain, so I'm using like Sky Sports, so I'm not even using a VPN. But if you're in Moton, I swear you're in England, just go on Sky Sports. I didn't know that. I didn't know that Sky Sports were doing it's got Sky Sports YouTube. I think, and that's literally what I'm using right now. So try that. But Nord is good. I use Nord. I use Nord for like. I used to use Nord a lot, but now like I use it when I'm abroad. Like ironically, I use it when I'm abroad and I want to watch British, like use my British stuff. Like Sky Sports, because you can't watch Sky Sports when you're abroad. But yeah, Nord is like the VPN service that I use, and like always seems to work. And I think they got like a free trial as well if you're using it for a short amount of time. F1 TV Pro, I like. I sometimes I'm like I do want to pull the trigger on that. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like I'm definitely reconsidering Sky Sports this year. Like I'm just like I'm done with it. But I feel like I'm in bondage with it. The thing is as well, I don't even what I used to like about Sky Sports is I used to like watching like old races on my TV. But I hardly like have time to just sit and watch TV anymore. And Sky is a complete robbery. Like, bro, like this is what I'm trying to say. Oh, that thing is though, all of my friends have just got the fucking cracked Fire Sticks, and like a few years ago, I was like, they were always buffering, and I was like, I don't know if that's the thing, but like every time I go to one of my friends' houses now with the cracked Fire Sticks, that shit looks crispy as fuck. Like that shit looks incredible. You wouldn't even know it's a Fire Stick. Like it never buffers. It's in like fucking 4K. And like, yeah, like, and they've got it all over the house. They've got like one in the bedroom, one in the kitchen. I'm just like, oh, that looks enticing for sure. But for sure, like Sky Sports is a robbery. Absolute robbery. The thing is, anything I use Sky Sports for, the only thing I actually watch on TV is F1 and Arsenal and like football. Champions League. Like that is it. So it's like I pay through the nose. It's like what do you call it? It's convenience, but it's almost like there are better options for convenience now. Whereas before, like Sky, TNT, whatever was like the most convenient. Yeah, there's a couple cracked Fire Stick companies that yeah, everyone's using. So I think for the start of the season, I'm gonna test out the cracked Fire Sticks, see what they're saying, and then and then we'll go from there. I'll let you know. I'll let you know what they're saying, but I think it's just the way to go at this point, man. Like, because like Sky is just like it's too much. It's too much, guys. It's too much. OG Landigo. Toto need to leave Mercedes TP and makes his quotes REFIA. What were his quotes? The FIA. I haven't seen his quotes. But he would need to leave. He would need to leave. Like, it's like for me, you just can't, like, you can't have that. Like, it's not to say that information would leak, but it would just open up. It opens up too many accusations, and I just think if it wasn't, everyone respects Susie Wolf. Like, I don't think anyone questions her integrity. I think I probably question Toto more than anything, but you just cannot have a team principal in any of the categories, to be honest, but especially in F1, the biggest motorsport category, one of the biggest teams. You can't then have like the head of the FIA like married in an active marriage to one of the TPs. So I think it's just to fucking, I think it's just to blow. I think it's one of those things where I think it's one of those things where I think someone's done it to fuck with Mohammed Ben Salem. In all honesty, because isn't she still suing? Have they settled that? Because she's still suing the FIA, or not suing, or like looking to take the FIA to court over for defamation. So, of which Mohammed Ben Salem is front and center of that. So she's still saying, I think it's going to EU court. So I think it's fucking hilarious that like someone, whether it's her, whether it's like whatever, has kind of come out and said Susie Wolf, whilst trying to sue the FIA, is currently looking to take over the FIA. Like, what a double whammy. So I think we'll see on that. But it's interesting. Look, I tell everyone, F1, is like fucking Real Housewives of Formula One. Like, the off-track stuff is like 50% of the fun. I'd even say it's actually sometimes, I reckon it actually might be like 60%. Like the off-track stuff is hilarious. Like, it's so hilarious how dramatic everything is. Like, and just how everything can snowball so quickly. Like, take for example the George Russell and Max Verstappen beef last year. Like, there was no need for those two to go as hard as they did. But and I get it if you're not a fan of it, right? I get it. I do get that. I guess as a content creator, it's incredible because like that's what feeds the streets, bro. Like, not even like, I'm not talking about physically feeding our pockets, but like, now for sport is about narrative, right? Whether we like it or not. Some of the greatest sporting moments of our time the reason why they're great is the narrative behind them. You know, you can go back to Jesse Owens at the Olympics. You can go back to even like Senna Prost narrative. If you want to talk about Lewis and if you talk about Lewis and Max, you know that was good because the on track action. I would say that was good because the end until we got to like Brazil, 2021 was like actually like a very good racing season of like two people a class apart from everyone else on the grid, finishing like pit stops ahead of everyone else, just duking it out. And then it got to, well, Silverstone, you can argue. It got to Silverstone and it just got ridiculous, didn't it? Like, post Silverstone, that's when I think the narrative started to take over. And then we got to Brazil, and I think that's when the sport started to engineer it. The sport could see, like, okay, this is what's happening with the sport. There's so many eyes on it. The narrative, Hamilton versus Verstappen. And then that's when they just started, like, you know, the Brazil decisions with Max, the disqualification. Obviously, then we go to, like, Saudi Arabia. But, you know, even if you remember, like Qatar, do you remember when like they had the press conference with like Toto Wolff and Christian Horner, and it was like box office stuff. Like they were feeding it. They were feeding it like sourdough bread, bruv. Sourdough starter, just feeding this motherfucker. And it was just growing and growing and growing and growing. And eventually, the monster they created, if we're gonna use the sourdough starter fucking thing, it outgrew the plastic container that it came in, and it just started growing out into all different types of places. And I think that and I don't really like talking about Abu Dhabi, so I'm not really gonna talk about it because I think it's been done to death, and I think we all know how we all feel about it. Like, it's almost like, I don't want to say it's traumatic, but it's definitely not something that I like to like bring up every fucking week. But what I will say is that watching a race be fixed in real time is crazy. Like, you know, like literally watching, like, obviously, like, I remember like Brazil watching that being like, this is weird, like, but you're like, okay, like, whatever. Saudi Arabia, again, watching that, like, this is weird, but again you're like, oh fuck, Lewis wins anyway, right? So but in the title decider, um yeah, I don't know, like, it's just fucking mad, isn't it? Like, anyway, it's just fucking crazy. Every time I think about it, I'm just like, that's insane. Like, I can't believe we watched that. Like, and then we all just have to move on. And it's just like, anyway, sport needs narrative, right? Going back to what we're discussing, sport needs narrative. Now, I think someone mentioned off-track drama is wild and a consequence of DTS. Um, and yeah, Sophie, they did ruin a masterpiece of a season. They did. It was the greatest season of all time. Like, we're never gonna see anything like that again, ever. Like ever. But sport needs narrative, and obviously DTS does fuel it. But like the online thing, again, how F1 Twitter is right now, or how it has been since like 2020, and with the growth of the sport and the influx of like different fans coming in, and how that's kind of shaped how we view the sport, how the sport is talked about online by the fans, which I find fascinating. It's one of my favorite things about the sport. It's it does does lead to the off-track stuff being blown up massively, but then the media then they latch onto it. So every press conference, they're asking Christian Horner in a question press conference, how do you feel about being booed? Asking Toto Wolff, like, they're carrying on. They see what happens online instead of like Sky Sports. You want to see Teddy? Where is he? He's just here. 2 seconds. I'll get him out in a second. The media get, um, the media get what we see on what we talk about online, and then they bring that into the mainstream rather than the mainstream dictating, and then we talk about it. And I think that's the bad thing. That's the bad thing. I don't pay attention to off-track. I only care the results of Lewis, nothing more. Look, we all consume the sport in different ways. We all consume it in different ways, and I think that's a good thing, right? Some people, like we're here on a live stream. Like I said, we're here on a fucking live stream watching testing, right? There's some people that could not give a shite about today. Like, couldn't give a shit. Like, do you know what I mean? They're gonna wait for the race. Like, some people that don't have Twitter. Some people consume all of their F1 on TikTok. Like, take that in. Oh shit, we got intermediates. Oh my god. Is it intermediates in Bahrain? Wow. Didn't we make a joke about Haas using like wet weather tires yesterday? Wow. I mean, the thing is, this is what I don't understand. If it is raining, like, yeah, why not? Look at the fucking side, yeah. Fucking hell, it's wet. All right, let's get him up. Teddy. Come here. Whoa. Whoa. Let me get you over here. There he is. Hey, Daddy. Say hello. Um. We've been fighting a little bit. Like he so there's like a back gate in my garden and he fucking escaped. He escaped the other day. And I had to go collect him from the fucking vet. He went for a little walk on his own, and the people in the shop. It's the second time he's done it. And the people from the shop had to let me know that he's at the vet. So I was a bit mad at him for that. And then yesterday, I stood in his piss in my kitchen, and I swear to God, like I nearly kicked him out. I nearly kicked him out of the house. I said, Teddy, what is going on here, bruv? What is going on here? So yeah, but he's all right. He's all right. You okay, bro? You're all right. Oh, I missed you. We've not done this for a while, have we? So yeah. Oh. So yeah, look at this. Inters. I'm so curious to see how this turns out. I don't get it though. If are Haas the only team that have bought Inters then? Oh yeah, big up Laura Miller, first female engineer, or race engineer. Sorry, let's get that correct. And back into the pits. Man, it is very wet. How it doesn't look warm enough to dry. It's gonna have a practice though. Yeah, like I just don't. Oh, Teddy, what's going on here? Are we cuddling or not? Right, there you go. Yeah. That track doesn't look like it's gonna dry anytime soon. Like that track. It looks cold out there, and if there's no cars going round kicking up, I mean, it looks pretty dry there. I mean, oh god, there is a bit of water being thrown up there. God, what the hell? I can't believe I'm watching Inters in Bahrain. Like, this is insane. What's going on? You alright? What are you doing? Okay, alright. Come down. Sit down. Ugh. There you go. Ugh. Anyway, that's enough. There you go, today. There you go. He's just on my lap now. Thank you for making me get him, because now he's never gonna leave. Never gonna leave. Look, I don't. Honestly, if you started working, you would not be missing much. Like, this is not good. I mean, if we compare this to the amount of laps completed by this time yesterday, I think by this time yesterday they were like definitely around like the 40 lap mark. What time is it? 8:46. So we've got another 2 hours. 2 hours and a bit. So yeah. I understand it's a brand new one on social media, so everything is hyped with the need for content. I don't think possible. Today's everything blows. But the thing is, like, you have to realize as well, like, the reason Prost Senna transcended F1 is because, obviously, because there was no social media, that rivalry became like, my mum knows about Prost Senna. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, that's how much it was reported on in the press. So, like, yes, things do get blown up. Like, smaller things get blown up now because every small thing is, like, put online, made into content. You know, like, we're literally drowning in content right now. Like this week, for example, like this week, I've pumped out like what, a video a day, pretty much, for like the last week and a bit, on YouTube. Then you've got like 10 clips on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. Then you've got like, what does that mean? You don't know your mum? Well, my mum doesn't know anything about Formula One, is what I'm trying to say. So it's like, if someone who doesn't watch Formula One remembers the press talking about Prost versus Senna, it means it reached an audience outside of the normal Formula One audience. That's what that means. Be nice about my mum. So yeah. So yeah. So yeah, I guess it's one of those things, isn't it, where I can't remember what I was talking about now. Yes, there's just so much content. Twitter moves at like a rate of 1,000 knots, clips from everything. So yeah, it is like, you know, but also you have to remember as well, like, unfortunately now this is where we're in. This is the era we're in terms of like content and stuff like that. Unfortunately, that is almost like the lifeblood of this sport a little bit, because otherwise, I don't. I mean, last season was good. Last season was good, but the races themselves don't create enough content on purpose. Like, they're not all Lewis Hamiltons. Like, do you know what I mean? And there's only 20 of them, and most of them like are crap at promoting themselves. So a lot of the sports promotion does come from the fans, essentially, and like a lot of user generated content. And like, I think that's pretty smart on their part. It's all free. And go from there. This track is damp as fuck, guys. Like, well, that pit lane is anyway. So it must be like too wet for slicks and not quite wet enough for intermediates. What a long out. And it's not warm enough for them to for the track to dry out. And there's no cars on track to get rid of the water. Not that there's loads of standing water, but yeah, what an incredible time to be watching testing. Umbrella, sign and promote the NS&C petition for an investigation by Parliament. Brian Barre, British National, reported on it, BBC and Channel 4. I signed that petition, by the way. Something's gonna come out about AD. Like, the thing is, like, look, the FIA, you can't even come into a meeting at the World Motorsport Council without signing an NDA. So are you telling me that we know Michael Massey is under the strongest NDA known to man? Like, they fired him but kept him in a job, but then he's like basically signed an NDA. Like, I don't think we'll ever hear from Michael Massey about that. How long do NDAs last? Like 25 years or some shit. I guess it depends on the NDA. But like, I don't think we'll ever hear it from Michael Massey. And I think there's something that happened, right? Between him knowing that lapped cars were there and that he was likely going to finish the race. I don't believe that he was put under pressure, let them race. Like, I don't believe that for a second. Someone told him to let those cars go. The call came from above because they wanted a one-lap shootout for TV, and they thought that they were going to be fucking heroes. And I think and they got it, and it is what it is from there. To be honest, like, I don't know what I don't really know, but I don't. Yeah, it would be interesting to see, but I don't know. They would have to get. Yeah, the investigation would have to like be a criminal investigation of some sort, and then obviously, I feel like if anything's gonna happen, maybe like Mohammed Ben Sulayem like gets done for some kind of like fraud, or like how Sepp Blatter was under investigation from FIFA. Like Mohammed Ben Sulayem gets one of them, and then we'll see like if like the house of cards falls down from there, and like they start to interview people from F1, and we'll see if there's anything more sinister than Michael Massey just going rogue. That's the story they've told us. I don't know if I believe that, but that's the story they've told us. They're saying there's a gym meeting coming up. I can't remember that, but they are saying that if they don't change things, then we don't get rid of. I don't think they. I mean, my thoughts were that he was. My thought was that. My thought was that he's well. This is why the Susie Wolf stuff was coming out, was because he was supposed to be running unopposed for re-election again, and then Susie Wolf's like come in, and like there's clearly dissent within the FIA because people are refusing to sign NDAs to go to meetings, which means that they want to leak things that are coming from those meetings that are being discussed. And MBS, probably rightly, is like, no, you can't come in if you're not going to sign an NDA. And there's people who are just absolutely sick and tired of it. I think we're starting to see, finally, I think I said on Cam's podcast, like, clearly everyone in the FIA likes him because, nothing's happening. But clearly there is starting to be some dissent. So we'll see. He is like, it's insane. Like, I've never, like, I was looking at the content I've made, and I was like, I've spoken about Mohammed Ben Sulayem, like, pretty much like 60-70% of the content I've made over like the last week has been, there's been a section in there about the FIA in some way. Basically since Saturday. Um, so, so yeah, it's like surely at some point there's going to be some kind of there's going to be some kind of um, coup, and someone will go against him. But he's greasing a lot of fingers. Greasing a lot of fingers? Is that? He's greasing a lot of palms. Sorry, um, and you know they've got an extra team in. That's extra money. They've they've got they're looking to bring another team in. That'll be that'll be 11. Sorry, and then another team and that'll be 12. So I don't know. I feel as if we'll see. We'll see. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Whew. Red Bull told him what to do. They did. I don't know if that's enough to make him do what he done. To be honest, and if it is, that's pathetic. Like, it's actually pathetic. But I don't think that that was enough. I hope that wasn't enough. I actually, like, part of me kind of hopes that it did come from upstairs. Because if it truly was just Michael Massey succumbing to Jonathan Wheatley, then it's pathetic. Um, and I'm impressed with right actually taking the race, and the action happened to be verbatim from one team's point of view. I know that was the case, but I actually, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's surely not. Like, surely you got more backbone than that. So let's see. There was something very fishy about how he dismissed the turn 4 incident in Brazil. He was so sad. Look, I think I did a video at the time talking about how, as a joke, like I was like, Jonathan Wheatley and Michael Massey are flirting. Like, and I think it was like, was it like, was it Saudi Arabia? Was it Brazil? Where they were like, oh, thank you very much. No, anything like, and it was just like, it was really bad. Like they were, my Jonathan Wheatley was so, he had Michael Massey wrapped around his little finger. You look at like Brazil. You look at Brazil. You look at you look at Saudi Arabia with the deal or no deal, right? Okay, I'm gonna give you an option. You can either have this or you can have it. What? What the fuck are you talking about? Like, what are we doing here, bro? Um, so there was that, and just like the general, the fact that Max Verstappen brake tested Lewis Hamilton and then didn't get anything stronger than something that would put him basically in second anyway. Like, but he's clearly brake tested him and tried to cause an accident. Um, just fucking ridiculous. God, look at us. Why are we discussing 21? It's just fucking it was just fucking ridiculous, man. Um yeah. I don't wanna like yeah, and that's the thing, like, I if you want me to be honest, and some people aren't gonna like this, but I think some of us have to move on. Like I think some of and like I don't say that lightly, but science senior spotted. Oh God. um, but I just think like I just think that it's a lot to have in your heart for 4 years, 3 years now. Like it's a lot to have that in your heart. And it is hard. I get it. Like, oh, there he is. Oh God, signs. um, it is a lot to. I get it, right? We were all affected by that day, but Lewis himself has moved on. You know, he's done the work to move on. So if Lewis can do the work to move on, who am I to stay in 2021? And like you said, I think who said like he looks happy now, you know. I wanna be in a place where I'm like celebrating Lewis now and supporting Lewis now. I don't wanna keep going to Teddy. I don't wanna keep going back to 2021. And it's nice to talk about every now and then, or whatever. Like, you know, okay, all right, sorry, right. Teddy's had enough for 21. You've had enough. All right, off you go. Whoa. Go. You wanted to go down. Sorry. Um. So yeah, I just think we've got to move on. We've got to move on. And it sucks. And respect to everyone like keeping it in the news. I get it, but like I guess for me as a content creator, like I can't be a content creator that has 21 as a focal point of my support for Lewis Hamilton. Because if I do, then I'm almost like making what I can talk about or my worldview of the sport quite narrow um, and then go from there. So we'll see. Oh, testing's on a break. Yeah, and it's never forgotten. I'm like, it's never forgotten. But I think there's like, I don't know, I don't know. I think there's some people, and there's some content creators who, if you want me to be very disingenuous, I think there's some people who almost use the fact that it's like trauma to generate clicks, and I don't like that. And I've seen it. I see it on Twitter. I see it on YouTube. I don't. I think some content creators and some people use it as a way to generate clicks and attention rather than trying to fight the good fight. And I don't like that. So I kind of stay away from it because I don't want to be grouped in with those type of people. But I will share the parliamentary petition um, on the next podcast, which will be on Sunday. Who was it in this chat that kept? Oh, it was V, I think. It kept asking me to get Brad Philpott on. We've got Brad on Sunday, which will be good. You're not a fan of Cam. That's fine. We're all different. We're all different. The thing is with Cam, he's just Cam in it. Like, I think the thing is with Cam, what I will say about Cam, and good morning, Mary, right? Is the hate for Cam started when he questioned the W13, right? And he questioned Toto Wolff. And a lot of people went against him for that. And ultimately, he was proven very right. And I think that the reaction that Cam got from Team LH just for questioning the W13, people were calling him like an Uncle Tom. People were calling him a coon. I think he felt kind of rejected from Team LH. So he obviously then starts going into what he's going into, and yeah, look at his audience is growing, but also he's put in a lot of work. Like that guy is like you can like anytime go on YouTube, he'll be live. So I think for sure he knows who his audience is now, and he feeds into that. If you could see the arguments me and Cam have when we see each other about F1, about Verstappen, Hamilton, like we have a lot of like we have pretty polar opposite viewpoints on Verstappen, on Hamilton. Like we're pretty like as opposed as you probably could be. But that's the beauty of the sport, in it. Like underneath all of that, he's a great person. Like, but I fundamentally disagree with like most of the things he says about Verstappen. 100%, 110%. Like, I've got absolutely no desire to like watch any videos where he talks about Verstappen, because I just like, yeah, I just not for me. Yeah, he loves Max. He loves Max, but I love Lewis. So I can't say anything. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I love Lewis, and like, so I can't say like someone's bad for having their head up a driver's ass when like I've got my head up Lewis's ass. So you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. It is what it is, man. Like, what can you do? What can you do? The clickbait is mad, but like, you know, again, there's clickbait on every F1 video. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like every F1 video, like look at P1, Matt and Tommy. Like they use fucking clickbait. And they're the biggest F1 channel on the fucking in the planet. They use fucking clickbait. Like it's hard. It's a hard world. It's a competitive market. Like something I'm realizing, like now. Like F1 media is a very competitive market. Like the fact that we're still about after 3 years, 4 years, as a podcast, is insane. Like because podcasts are coming and going, it's hard to penetrate. It's hard to penetrate the market, you know, especially like YouTube as well. So yeah, me and Cam have got some stuff coming out. Some like arguing kind of content that we're going to do. And I think everyone's going to like it. It's going to be like, yeah, I think it's going to be good. But yeah, we'll see. Skyfall finally lowered the firewalls. The numbers must not have been numbering. You know what? Though? Fair play to them. I think they should put practice on YouTube. I don't understand, like, why free practice is behind a paywall is crazy. I think you'd get more fans if they were able to watch practice. I think they'd be more tempted to then, oh fuck, I've been watching practice. Oh, this is quite easy. Let me get Sky Sports. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I think that I don't understand why am I right? Why? I mean, I get it. If I'm paying for Sky, then why are you putting on for free? But then we've got fucking 3 days of testing online for free. You're telling me a couple hours of practice every, yeah. F1 Academy on YouTube. Do they not have it on YouTube? That's crazy. I need to watch F1. I need to really get into like. I want to watch more motorsport this year. I want to watch more IndyCar. I want to watch more Junior F2. I need to watch F2. The problem with F2, yeah, I'm not even going to lie to you. It's too much of a commitment every weekend. We've got cars coming out. Here we go. Oh my God. It's George Russell. It's gone into like the damp part on. Okay. It's weird that he just went into the wet part of the pit lane. What was I talking about? I actually can't remember what I was just talking about. Absolutely escaped me. Sorry. No, your content is very much like the F1 Wonderful that got a lot of shit from people. He's a bigger fan of the F Wonderful got at me, yeah. And I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all. Like, F Wonderful got at me because I said we're the biggest black F1 podcast. So no, sorry, I got mentioned by someone else, and then underneath that video, someone mentioned us for some reason because they had beef with Cameron and Wolfpack, and they mentioned us, and then I was like, we, I was like, we're like the biggest black F1 podcast. Why, like, what have we done wrong? Then they took offense to that. Um, and yeah, they've had beef with us since. Which is fair. Like, we're not for everyone. Um, so yeah, I don't know. I just feel like fair play to them. Like, yeah, I know I don't really watch their content. But yeah, we've not got more subscribers because we were primarily just posting the podcast on YouTube, and obviously, like, you're posting like an hour to an hour and a half videos. It's not going to be like the levels of like when people post like 10-minute videos. So that's why we're doing more stuff like this year and the short videos, because yeah, I do want to grow. I do want to grow, and I do want to, but yeah, it's just about being consistent. And that's one thing that we weren't, just not consistent. So about your manager to move on, and this is why it happened. This is anyone who has to move on. You only have to work in the background whilst you do your thing. This is true. The Red Flag podcast was mad. I don't think people know what happened after that, but basically, we went on the Red Flags podcast. They set Tandy up with like a question, which was like, we were doing this debate thing, and then they asked Tandy a question about like Max or Lewis or something, and then I think she said like, oh, Max is like a complaint. Max is always complaining, blah blah blah. Clipped that, put it out. Let me tell you, the racist abuse that we got after going on the Red Flags podcast was insane. Like, they clipped it. There was people making racist remarks in the comments on Instagram, like, to the point where they had to, I think that episode's gone. I don't even think you can watch that episode anymore. I think they had to delete it because of the level of it. We were getting death threats. Tandy was getting rape threats. Like, it was bad. It was so bad. Like, I've never, ever, ever, to this day, or up to that day, received that level of racist abuse. People, like, but it wasn't even like innuendo racism. Like, people were just flat out being like the most racist. And what was like, Lewis and John Elkin. What was like crazy about that was, and I've not really spoken about what happened then. But what was crazy about that, and big up to the Red Flags guys, they're gone. They're clear. Like, they fucking, we were probably like here in 2021, 22, and then they've just gone. So, like, they pulled the episode and they were like, we don't condone racism, and they got so much props for that. And we just got like, all we got was just like racist abuse, and they got like the white savior kind of like plug, and everyone and they got even bigger from it. So yeah, so that was funny, but like, big up Red Flags. But yeah, I don't think that episode's even live anymore, because of the abuse that we got. And yeah, I don't think we'll be doing another episode with them again. To be honest. Need more memes. You know what? Like, the edits. I love doing the edits. They take a lot of time. And I do want to, yeah. So of course we'll be doing more edits. We'll be doing more edits. I'm trying to keep them as simple as possible at the moment, just because I'm trying to get as much volume. But obviously, once the meme starts, once the season starts, obviously we'll have loads of edits, fan cams. I miss doing fan cams. Like they're the best, man. Um, Cameron learned that a long time ago, and it was not about W13 for me. He went rogue a long time ago. Friends be friends. Yeah, yeah. I'm not gonna talk about Cam anymore. But like, I get it. Like, I'm like, honestly, I get it. But also, yeah, everyone's entitled to their opinion. I don't agree with it, but I respect where it's coming from, and I also respect the business of it. To be honest, like that guy's caking off them, like off them guys. So, um, what can you do, man? What can you do? Um, yeah, Hulkenberg's out now. Let's see. Um, let's see. Um, this is why content creators need contextual awareness. Yeah. And I do think, I think all they were thinking about was like, this clip will bang. They were like, this clip is going to bang. And bang, it did. The crazy thing about that was that we had to, it was weird. So when we have a podcast, as you can probably tell, Tandy and I will turn up and we'll just start talking, right? With them, we had a meeting to pre-plan it. The format was decided. The topics were kind of decided. So I feel like they kind of prepared for it. Me and Tandy just kind of walked in after that, not really understanding what was going on. And then they were just doing it. Like they were just so thirsty for like shock value. So they kind of set it up for that. And yeah. And you know, like, you know, that's the way it went. So yeah. Yeah, and look, they're mainstream now. They're literally like they're mainstream. Like they've and look, to go from where they went, where they were to where they are now, you know, fair play to them. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not gonna get into I don't want to talk about them anymore. But like yeah, that was not a nice time. That was not a nice time whatsoever. But anyway, well, this year's gonna be great for us. Teddy, no, not now. This year's gonna be great for us. We're gonna have live streams like this. I'm glad that this stream is fine. I tried to do something different and it didn't work. So I went back to what I was doing before and now it's working fine. So, more live streams, more content. Obviously the Milan show, there's gonna be a London show. And yeah, just more stuff. More stuff. And here we go. We've got Russell out on track. Teddy, yes, whatever he's doing. I think he missed Teddy. I don't know if you saw Teddy when he was on screen. But he's just down there. He's just down there. He's just chilling. God, how much? An hour and 42. Don't come to the US for a bit. We're musty. Look, I still want to come to the US. I want to come to the US. You know what? Real fucking talk. Let's be honest. I want to go to Vegas. Like, I know. I've got, like, the thing is, we've been to Austin. I love Austin as a track. I love Austin, like, I like how accessible Austin was compared to, like, compared to Vegas, obviously, and compared to other tracks. Well, I say accessible in terms of the ticket price wasn't that bad. But I was actually quite disappointed with Austin. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like Austin, the city, I was a little bit disappointed. Like I'm not gonna gonna lie. I feel like um I think I said it to someone. It reminded me of Shoreditch, like 2015 Shoreditch. Like after Shoreditch was cool, and then it became gentrified a bit, and like it's still Shoreditch, but it's not quite Shoreditch. OG London girl will know what I'm talking about. Um, I I thought it was okay. Shady, as in that's not complimentary. No, if you're meaning, I mean, are we talking about shady as in the track is shady or me being shady? But like, I yeah, I don't. Yeah, I didn't have the. Yeah. So anyway, oh, I'm being shady. Yeah, no, 100%. I don't. Austin is great. You know what? The thing is, Austin Town Centre was great, and then outside, I remember driving. I don't know if we were driving towards the track. I can't remember, but there was like a billboard. Right? There was a billboard. Someone had paid for a billboard, and all it said was "build the dang wall." That was it. Not a business, not fucking build the dang wall. But what I liked about Austin was I ate tacos. Oh, we got some on track. Oh, Yuki's just going past him. What I liked about Austin was the taco situations. There was a lot of tacos. I loved that. Give me all the tacos. Like, oh my God. I was in love with all the tacos there. But I want to go to Vegas. I do want to go to Vegas. I want to see what Vegas is saying. I don't like how cold it is in November, but I feel like I want to go to Vegas. If Milan goes well, I want to do the same type of thing in Vegas, basically. And maybe Austin as well, and maybe Miami in the future. But I think Vegas is probably going to be like the most receptive thing for that, for like a live show slash party. So I want to go check out Vegas. I've always wanted to go to Vegas, but I don't gamble. So I kind of want to go to Vegas. I want to see Vegas, and F1 gives me a reason to go to Vegas. I wanted to go to WrestleMania this year, but those prices are insane. Like, that is insane. Some of the prices for WrestleMania. Milan is for the Grand Prix. So, Italian Grand Prix, Saturday, September the 6th, is Milan. We haven't actually, I'm telling you guys before I've actually gone to I'm going to the venue on Friday next week. Once we get that sorted, then it will be all good. Here we go. Yuki Tsunoda lining up Hulkenberg. Was this a real? Oh, getting quite close. Yeah. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. Obviously, but that's going to be like a pretty big thing. And then obviously, if Milan goes well, then that's a blueprint for like, I think the year after. Love to do America, Brazil, South Africa. Those are all things that I'd love to do. So yeah, just got to grow the platform, got to be consistent, and go from there. Vegas might be good now. We know the racing is not cheeks. Spencer Hall said the food is banging too. Yeah, so there was a period of time where I was like, before I decided to move to Manchester, I was looking at moving to Vegas, and I was actually quite impressed with like. Apparently the food at the Grand Prix is quite good, but also like just food in general around there is quite good. As someone who's like a bit of a foodie, and it was quite cheap compared to like other places in America. I didn't end up going to Vegas in the end. I'm quite happy I didn't end up going. That would have been quite the life change. But there's something about it. I don't know. I need to go there and experience it. I think I just want to go experience Vegas, and F1 gives us a reason to go. And the racing's good. The racing's good. Like, it's a good race. Last year was a good race. And I think, like, yeah. The only thing about it is, like, Temptations are mad. Well, this is the thing, Mosin. Given how last year went in Manchester, I I struggle to think how my life would have gone last year had I been in Vegas. So it's probably for the best that I don't live in Vegas. But no, in all seriousness, yeah, I think I think it's one of those things where a lot of a lot of our a lot of our audience are in America. Even though we're British, a lot of our audience are in America. A lot of people who support via merch are in America as well. So it was one of those things where I was like, you know, especially like in this country, media wise, it's really hard for us to kind of like get the same kind of opportunities that like other people do for obvious reasons. So in America, it would be a lot easier to do that. And that was the kind of thinking. I was like, okay, we'll go to America, we'll do that. Oh, I'll go to America. We'll do that. I know Tandy wants to live in America as well. So that was all. I mean, I might still do that at some point. Um, that's not like 1,000,000% off the cards, but definitely for like the next 3 years, I think I'm. Oh, Piastri is very wide there. Um, Next 3 or 4 years, definitely going to be in. I'll be in the UK, 100%. Um, Unless something drastic happens. The price of groceries worries me in America. That's one thing I don't understand. Like the price of like veg is insane. Um, I really don't like that. But conversely, oh, is it still? Yeah. Um, but the price of takeaway, great. Like burgers and like fucking like tacos. Oh my god, so cheap. I think I would probably put on weight in America. Um, I could definitely see myself putting on weight in America. Um, so yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Um, I'd love to go to Grand Canyon. That's like, I'm one of those people though. Like, I'm not really good with like landmarks. I would up my workout gym game. Oh yeah, 100%, 100%. Although it's look, get hench or die trying. It's still the mantra. So if I'm eating more calories in America, just have to work out more. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, like I do enjoy being active. So I'm trying to get more active like now. So this week hitting the gym hard. Once this testing stuff is done, yeah, then hopefully like this weekend back in the gym, get hench or die trying. Um, if you're watching, by the way, please give the video a like. Thank you to everyone on the stream. Hello to all of you. Hello to everyone in the chat. Big up all of you. Much appreciated for joining the stream. Groceries. I was flabbergasted by how expensive groceries were in America. Like, genuinely taken aback compared to how much we pay for stuff over here. Um, but now I see why you guys earn more. Like, you earn more because like everything is fucking expensive over there. Other than fuel. Oh my god, petrol. Petrol, super fucking cheap. But like everything else, super expensive. So yeah, I don't know. I think I'd wanted to go to America once if I was like, let's say if like I was like, if I had made it as like a content creator and we were like full-time content creation, I might consider going to America. Um, yeah, I think that's the only way. Like if this like took off and I was able to like earn money from Quickstop, then yeah, I think definitely America's definitely like I think I've spent all of my life. Oh, Lewis is on track. Yay! Looks like he's going for it. Are we? Do you reckon we'll see any faster times than what has been set already? No one seems to be like really pushing. Maybe track conditions. Is it still spitting? Let's look at how Lewis is looking on track. Track got washed out. Oh, true. Very true. Yeah. What did George say? Sorry, I'm just watching. I just realized I've just been silent on the stream. Sorry, I'm just watching to see how the car looks. Obviously, it's not going as quick. I mean, we're not seeing. I'd love to just get an onboard. Like, I get like they can't show onboards all the time, but I feel like we're not just showing a lap of someone else, and now we're going to Yuki on board. Like, hey, like, be careful what you wish for, you know? Fair play. Jesus Christ. Well, let's look at Yuki on board then. Currently in ninth. Again, like, no one really looks like their car's a handful. Like, you're not seeing too many cars with like, you know, like seesaw motion and really like kind of struggling with like handling or like grip or anything like that, especially given the track's quite green. Yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting. So anyway, John Elkann not letting Lewis go. Happy to see him in Bahrain. Oh man, seen that? You seen that meme of the guy holding a burger and he's like gripping it so hard? That is John Elkann. Like, he is not letting Lewis out of his sight. And I love that. I love that. Look, like I said, he paid the big bucks for him. I think he's wanted him there for years. And yeah, I think, and already he'd have seen the market value of Lewis, how that's related into, you know, I'm sure their merch sales are through the fucking roof, bro. Through the roof, like. So yeah, like. Oh, I wouldn't let Lewis Hamilton. Look, if I signed Lewis Hamilton, I wouldn't let him out of my sight. Are you crazy? Are you crazy? And you know, like, Lewis would have been, you know, obviously Lewis has bought Ferraris. They've got that personal relationship. And I just think, of course, like, you know, and I think this is the right time. You know, if Lewis had gone, let's say after 2016, when everything was like potentially up in the air. I mean, obviously, like Seb was there, obviously, but I mean, you never know. If Lewis was in the 2017, 2018 Ferrari, does he beat whoever's in Mercedes? That's a great question. You know, especially 2018. Like, you know, like if you look at Seb Vettel in 2018, like, I don't think he gets spoken about how much Vettel fumbled 2018. Like 2017, I think there was like a bit of a development race which Mercedes won. I can kind of accept that. 2018, the amount of times that he spun out on his own was insane. Like, actually insane. Like, I don't think people are realizing, like, he spun in Italy. I think he spun in Japan. I think he spun in... Where else did he spin after? Silverstone. He spun in Silverstone as well. Like... Germany! The Germany! Fucking crashing out in Germany! Like... Do you know what I mean? Like, your home race. I actually think that I think Seb's head was never right after Hockenheim 2018. I don't think he was right as a driver after that. Honestly, I think 2018 finished Seb Vettel. If we're being really honest, like 2019, Charles come in, starts cooking him. You know, they have the crash. I honestly, like 2018, I think Monza is like Hockenheim and Monza especially were unforgivable. Like, absolutely unforgivable. And I just think, I think if Lewis Hamilton was in that Ferrari, he wins that title easily. Like, I actually think, like, I actually think he wins it before the end of the season. Yeah, that would have been cool. But I think now the time's right for Lewis to be Mercedes. I think the time's right, and I think it's cool. Like, I think it's cool. Like, for him to end his career at Ferrari is beautiful. Like, do you know what I mean? I think if he'd gone to Ferrari, I think he retires sooner than, like, if he'd gone in 2017, for example. Complete fantasy booking. No, obviously Seb was probably under contract, whatever. But let's say he goes there in 2017. I don't think we see Lewis Hamilton in Formula One in 2025. So, you know, the fact that we've got another 2 years at least, maybe a third, is awesome. And it's in Ferrari. So yeah. Germany, Hockenheim 2018. I would highly recommend it if anyone's never seen that. Lewis Hamilton qualifies 14th. Basically, the title is slipping away from him. Seb's been, like, cooking him pretty much most of the season. He says in his qualifying interview, I think he says, like, I'll be hoping for a miracle tomorrow. And then it literally just starts raining, like, halfway through the race, I want to say. And then Lewis, like, it starts raining, but it's not raining hard enough for, like, intermediates. Or some people go on to intermediates. I can't remember. But basically, Lewis Hamilton goes on to softs in, like, spitting rain. And basically just starts running down the field. And then Seb, under pressure, I think Seb is trying to, like, go through traffic, and then maybe his tires get cold, and then he literally just crashes into the barriers out of nowhere. And it was, like, right in front of his fans. And yeah, not great. And then Lewis goes on to win, although they had to do team orders with Valtteri Bottas because they had a safety car towards the end. And then Lewis stays out. Valtteri Bottas is on fresh tyres behind him. And I think they're, like, hold station. Where the Valtteri would have got past or not, we don't know. But there were team orders at the end of it. But it's a great race. I'd highly recommend it. If you've got F1 TV, Hockenheim 2018, really good race. Really good race. Is the price of groceries all that worries me about America? No, of course not. America's look, but then again, like America's fucked. Like, but like the UK is not great. Like, obviously America's very, very fucked, but the UK is not far behind in terms of fascism and you know, rising prices. We're not, like, you know, Reform are the second most popular party in the polls at the moment. So, you know, there's that. There were riots here just like not so long ago. Race riots. Like, that's the thing that happened. Um, our salaries aren't increasing in line with inflation at all. Um, so yeah, it's fucking cold as shit. It's always cold. So yeah, America's fucked, but like the UK's fucked. But also, better the devil you know. I'm happy. I'm happy being here for now. We need that eighth. How many more titles, if any, do you think Nico wins if he stays in Mercedes till 21? None. None. I don't think he wins any. I genuinely think people like Nico Rosberg, yeah, stayed in a hotel. He had a new wife, had a new kid. He didn't go home. He stayed in hotels because he didn't want any distractions from trying to beat Lewis. Like, Nico Rosberg put everything he had into, like, including destabilizing the whole Mercedes team just to beat Lewis Hamilton that year, to the point where he was like, I could not possibly do that again. Like, I'm done. I'm finished. Like, which is hilarious, but also like fair play. And yeah, and he still needed reliability to get that. So yeah. So I'm just watching with Fernando Alonso here. So yeah, I don't think he wins any, to be honest. What's hilarious is that Toto Wolff wanted to move Lewis Hamilton on in 2016 and not Nico Rosberg. That's the crazy thing. Like, he was willing to give up Lewis Hamilton to keep Nico Rosberg, which is insane when you think about it. So, you know, I think for me, Nico Rosberg done the right thing. And he's a great pundit. He's a, you know, I love Nico Rosberg as a pundit, you know. He doesn't give a shit. Like, he does not care whatsoever about relationships, about saying the wrong thing. Like, Nico Rosberg is probably the best F1 pundit, you know? Yeah. So, like, I think for me, I think he's actually found his calling in terms of, like, all of the stuff he does outside of F1. Like, he's like an investor, he's a businessman, you know, and he does like the occasional YouTubing, and he does fucking, like, Nico Rosberg is like, I've actually got a lot of respect for Nico Rosberg outside of the car, a lot more than I did for him as a driver. Here he is. Sorry, senor. So yeah, I think that was his destiny, you know, to scrape that one title, and then from there, like, you know, do whatever you want. It's because he has FU money. He can say how he feels. You know what? Very true. Like, Nico Rosberg always had money. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, he was never. It's not like in F1 F1 was like his livelihood, and like, you know, he always had money, but also he's invested his earnings very well. You know what's like, and the mad thing is like he doesn't drive like competitively like at all. I don't think I've seen Nico Rosberg do like one like even like celebrity fucking race. Like this guy does not. All he wants to do is drive his fancy cars like for YouTube, and that's it. He's got no interest in like in doing any kind of like racing at all. I fucking love that. I wish it's because it must be hard for sports people to move on, and I actually love it seeing sports people move on and do other things. I think it's really sad. You see sports people like hanging on to like former glories, or like, you know, scraping a living when like they were earning millions. It's really sad. So I think Nico's like a good template for like a good series. He does have the Eco Race series, yeah. Extreme E, is that what it is? Extreme E. He won the first season, I think. I didn't watch it last season, but yeah, he's got a team in that. He's invested pretty heavily in like I think that's his thing. Like the environment is like that's his like. His tax offshoot. That's what he's decided he'll spend his money on, essentially. So like, yeah, he's super into like environmental stuff, and yeah, I think that's why he ended up having like the Extreme E thing, because their whole thing is like the environment and whatever. So yeah, he did humble himself. He's a lot more likable, but I guess again, maybe this is just us seeing like the version of Nico that he wasn't able to show when he was a racing driver, because, you know, when he was at Mercedes, his first teammate was Michael Schumacher, his second teammate was fucking Lewis Hamilton. Like, that's pressure, that's stress. Like, you don't really get. Obviously Schumacher it wasn't fucking shoot me, was it? Like, do you know what I mean? Let's be honest about it, he was pretty much washed. But like, Nico had two big teammates. So, you know, I think for him, I think he's just like, I think he has humbled himself. I think you can tell it hurts him. You can tell, like, you know, the fact that he's not friends with the fact that he's not friends with Lewis anymore, and it's his fault. I think that eats at him. I think that really does eat at him. And like, you can tell in the way he talks about Lewis and the way he talks about those times and whatever. You know, I think there is like a tinge of regret there, for sure. His investment podcasts are good. All of his personal development stuff. Like, was a pundit, definitely comes from F off money. Yeah, his dad built. Yeah, I mean, like, yeah. I mean, look, when you're son of Keke Rosberg, who had a few money, yeah. I think once they stop racing. I think once they stop racing, I think maybe that they'll, because I think Lewis, I don't know, maybe. Oh, here we go. We've got some purple action here. I will get back to this shortly, but we're with Carlos Sainz on C2 Hard, setting purple sectors in a Williams. What does this mean? Are the Williams about to be the fastest car on the grid this season? Has Carlos Sainz made a Lewis Hamilton-like decision to move teams against all the odds? Slowest second, is not his fastest second sector, but still a 10th up. Here we go. Carlitos. No. Oh. 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 Carlos. God, he's gone for it though. How do I balance my support between Schumacher and Lewis when he came out? So I supported Schumi until 2006. He retired, and then 2007 Lewis started. So yeah, but then when Schumi came back, I was just Lewis Hamilton. Like, yeah, I was just all Lewis. Like, discarded Schumi. You know, like in Toy Story, where like they just discard one of the toys. Like, I didn't even. I literally like I was so what was it, 5. I think he came back in what 2011, 2012, 2010. Sorry, 2010, 11, 12. He was about, wasn't it? And then 2013, Lewis went to Mercedes. Yeah, I was so deep in Lewis Hamilton fandom by that point. Like it wasn't even really like it didn't really register for me to like. It was nice to see him back, and I hoped he did well, but like I was always like Lewis Hamilton. What really crushed me was like when he got pole at Monaco, but he had like a grid penalty. It's Lewis setting purples. They need to show us this shit. Why are we looking at Nico Hulkenberg? Russell setting purples? No. Am I just behind? Maybe my stream's just behind. Is that what it is? Slow ass motherfucking stream. Here we oh there it is, Lewis setting purples. You know what, yeah, like I just saw Mercedes come up on screen and like I was like, oh, here's Lewis. I just remembered he is not. Here we go. Purple times. Here we go. What's Russell got? Russell gonna get into the 129s? No. Yes. Oh, just about. Here we go. And now faster than the fastest time last year. Wow, Here we go. Has he dunked on him? Don't piss me off! Huh? Nothing but net! Don't piss me off! Huh? Fastest! We're so back! We are so back! We are back! We are back! Oh my god, we're back! We're back out here. Teddy, we're back! Teddy, we're back! We're back! We're back! Oh my god. It's happening. It's happening. Yeah, we're so back. We're so back. Like, I feel like it's just nice to see him comfortable and happy. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, what more could you want? What more could you want? And he just looks so good. Oh, he looks so good. I think we're getting the 8th. I think it's gonna happen. It'll be so interesting. Again, they're giving Lewis like the morning again. It would have been nice to see Lewis under the lights. Would have been nice to see Lewis with what do you call it? With like a cooler track. But yeah, I love that. I love that, man. I'm so happy. I can't wait to read Lewis's book when he retires as well. That book is going to be fucking insane. It's going to be insane. All the things that he's going to tell us. I don't think he's released a book since like what is it, 2008, 2009? So 2009 probably, yeah. So pretty much everything about leaving McLaren, the Mercedes, the Nico years, leaving fucking Mercedes, the Ferrari years, like the biopic's gonna go crazy. Like, oh god, it's gonna be great. Still testing, but don't forget about last year, about those 2/10. What happened last year? Could you enlighten me, Esther? Were Mercedes quickest last year? Tomorrow loses in the afternoon session. Okay, good. Good. That'd be good. And that'd be a nice way to end it. Be a nice way to end the day, right? Why am I getting emails? What's going on here? What is this? Nice. So yeah, I'm like super like super excited for this season. Yeah, no, like Lewis, that biopic is gonna be insane. It just had the most incredible career. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, you know, aside from like the drama, the success, you know, just the complete success that he's had. We're never gonna see anything like it. Oh my god! And there's still some more to go. Still setting purple sectors. Gosh. Nice. The devil on my shoulder is saying testing times don't matter. The angel is saying anything is coming. Yeah. Like, you know what though? Testing times don't matter. But I think that we will see. I think the fact that he's comfortable in the car is the most for me, especially given the back end of last season. Everything else is a bonus. Jason Voorhees. Hi, Nyasha and chat. I'm a Max fan. I welcome. I'm bad at English. Peace and love for all. Look, Max fans are welcome here. You know what? You can have a round of applause for speaking up. Respect to you for popping your head in. As long as you're not... Do you know what I mean? We welcome all fans here. We don't discriminate. Do you know what I mean? We don't discriminate. If you want to be a Max fan, if you want to be a Lando fan, do you know what I mean? It don't matter. As long as we're all respectful. That's all that matters. That's all that matters, mate. I love these emojis as well. Don't be nervous. Success, not just in America, but in all the junior championship as well. Papati did really well. God, the story of Lewis Hamilton. You know, obviously, like him going up to Ron Dennis and be like, "I want to drive for your team," and then he's like, "Well, come back to me in a few years," and then him just like winning and like him like. You know, I think when he did that Secret Cinema with Martin Brundle and they showed his GP2 drive at Silverstone, where he basically, I don't know if he qualified, does he qualify at the back or does he spin or something and he ends up going to the back? And he's saying to Martin Brundle, like, he's like, I knew I had to win. Because if I didn't win, like I had to win every category, otherwise my funding would get cut. And I knew that if I won F2 or GP2, that there was like an opening in McLaren. I think because Kimi was leaving to go to Ferrari. So he fucking came through the pack. And he's like, I just had to win. And like the pressure that he must have been under his whole junior career. And then to come to F1 and nearly win the title in your first season is insane. Like, it's not normal, bruv. It's not normal. Like, it's insane. So for me, like, I just like that story that can be told or will be told um, is going to be insane. And I hope there's a book. I hope there's a book that is like an autobiography, like written from his perspective, and just yeah, like, and we get all of the stuff that he maybe wasn't able to say during his career. I hope we get that for sure. Um, but but yeah, all of the fashion, the biopic, the what else? The business investments. You know, him and Nika going band for band in their Monaco apartments will be quite funny. So yeah, no, um let's see how that goes. But we've still got a lot more time of him left. We've got another 2 years at least, maybe a third. So so yeah, let's see. We've still got a lot of time with Lewis left. Oh my god, that water is excellent. Who invented water? Love you. Um, so yeah, and now we're quickest. So 2/10 on fucking. Oh, we're 2/10 ahead of fucking Russell. Like, I just like, you know what? Like, I, I am quietly confident for Lewis Hamilton this year. Maybe not. I know it's like Delulu for Lulu. I get it. I know. I don't want to go too far, but like, I think it's just one of those things where I am excited for him to have a car which we know that he's going to be able to like qualify in the top 3 4, right? Because we know in a race his race pace is insane. But for him to just be in and around and not have to do hero runs from like 7th, 8th just to get on the podium. If Ferrari smashed the 20, it's not. It really isn't. 2026 is going to be fascinating. I mean, this year's already fascinating. We're already looking forward to 2026. Like, I mean, I feel like this car, if they have gone with a completely new car in places, and I think they've said that there is a commitment on their part to develop this car throughout the season. I think I heard Ted say yesterday that McLaren and Ferrari are the two teams who are going to commit to sorry, why would you send me that, who are going to commit to developing the car throughout the season. So you would think that the Ferrari, given the fact that a lot of it is new, has maybe got like a larger kind of larger amount of potential to untap, to unfurl or whatever, untapped potential to get into. It will be interesting to see throughout this season. Like, Mercedes likely not going to continue to develop this car. Red Bull definitely not going to continue to develop the car. So it could be between McLaren and Ferrari this year. And if it is, then I really think that, look, he's got a chance, right? He's got a chance. The same way Charles Leclerc has a chance, right? Same way McLaren, Lando Norris has a chance. And Oscar Piastri has a chance. But they've got a chance, and that's all you can ask for. And I think that's what I'm excited for. Like, just the fact that they've got a chance, and yeah, we'll see from there. We'll see from there, man. And that's all you can do. All the stars are aligned. They do feel aligned, don't they? They do feel aligned at the moment. So let's see how that goes. But yeah, they do feel aligned. Very optimistic, says Ali, that Lewis is going to win the eighth this year. Oh, very optimistic. I'm I'm very optimistic. Yeah, I'm very optimistic. I don't know if I'm very. I don't know how certain I am of it, but I just don't. I just like honestly. I just want to get to like Australia now. Ooh. I just want to get to Australia now, and once we get to Australia, like, I just want to, I just want to see these cars. Like, that first Q3 is gonna be like intense. Oh my god, we're gonna have like four teams who we're all gonna be thinking like, have they turned it up? Have they turned it up? And then finally, we're gonna get to like Q3, and we're going to know for certain what these teams are bringing to the season. And yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to. Q3 in Australia, like, bring it on, man. Like, that's gonna be like really cool. Um, Red Bull bought the same car this year. Yeah, I mean, like they say that they've. Sorry, they say that they've um made the car a bit more stable, and Max seemed relatively happy with it yesterday. Um, but yeah, I can't see like they're definitely going to pour as much resources as possible into next year as soon as possible. Um, so it'll be interesting to see if there are performance clauses in Max's contract. It'll be interesting to see like whether or not that's a factor in how hard they push to develop this year's car, just to make sure that he is able to at least fight for. I mean, the thing is, even when last year they were shite, towards the back end of the season, they still won races. You know, um, even though they weren't great. So, I think a lot of us are assuming, okay, they're going to be third, they're going to be fourth. But even within that, Max Verstappen still won races. And I think that really does, like, we can write off, like, Liam Lawson, fine. But let me tell you now, 4 years of watching Max Verstappen, no matter what you think of him as a person, let me tell you now, that boy can drive a fucking Formula One car. And he will maximize whatever that Formula One car is. If he's got a rocket ship, he's gonna fucking rocket ship his way to the fucking jam in. If he's got a stable car, but it's not fast, yeah, he might not win, but he'll be second, third, fourth. Like, like I've just seen here, three things will affect Max: the car, the FI, and becoming a father. Honest to God, I do think, like, what he's like on the precipice of a race ban. So I do think that will factor into how he drives with other drivers. Like, he won't want a race ban, and I think even Max doesn't want a head loss to the point where he's like, where he's getting points in his license and um, getting a race ban. Um, so yeah, I think we'll see. Look, if becoming a father affects Max the same way it's affected Martin Odegaard at Arsenal, I'm counting Verstappen out now, because my God, since he's had a kid, he's been awful. He even looks like he needs sleep as well. Like, I don't know what's going on, bruv. I don't know what's going on. So we'll see. We'll see. The hardest one's quite, yeah, he has a family. I know he would, I knew he'd lift. Yeah. The thing is with Max, I just feel like it'll be interesting to see it'll be interesting to see, like, if it does affect him. I don't think it will, because I think he's only programmed one way, and I don't see, like I say, he's already been like a stepdad, so I don't see him softening up even more than he maybe has already. Um, but yeah, if he gets a ban, that would be so funny. That'd be like the funniest thing ever if he got a ban. Oh my god. um, so many choices. He doesn't need the money. He doesn't need the money, but it's nice. It's nice, you know. It's nice to have that money, and I think. Well, look, if someone offers you £1 billion to drive a Formula One car, you're driving that Formula One car. Do you know what I mean? I think Papa Stroll is going to make that offer. I do think he's going to make that offer. And yeah, like, I guess we'll see. I guess we'll see. Like, it'll be interesting. It'll be very interesting to see. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Um, Hello, V. How's it going? Right, I'm gonna go to the toilet. I'm gonna mute my mic because some people were saying very mean things. So I'll be back in 2 seconds. Hello, hello. Um, Boom. Right, I'm back. Oh my god. You know what? Yeah, it's crazy how long we stay on these streams for. Like, I just like look at the time. It's still another 48 minutes to go, and we're still top. Hamilton's still out. How many laps has he done? Let's find out. Um, but yeah, fucking hell, so good. We are top. We are top. So we've done. Ooh. Oh, around 50. Right, so let's get this up. Oh, is he saying purpose again? Oh. So it's better to listen to me than any Sky Sports commentator. Well. Let's see. I'm not sure about it. Is he backed up? Let's see. Team NH since 2006. I'm saying this now. This is Lewis's year. I'd rather listen to James Allen than Crofty or Karun or Danica Patrick. Danica Patrick. What a funny person. Oh, he has backed out, yeah. What a funny character Danica Patrick is. Like, it's so crazy Like, let me tell you now, yeah. Danica Patrick knows nothing about Formula One, right? I don't think she does any research on Formula One. I think that she thinks that her experience, extensive experience as a driver in other categories, almost supersedes her, like, need to know about Formula One. Watch Danica Patrick, yeah? When I ask her things, she answers it like, you know when you used to get asked things in class and you might have been like away with the fairies, like just fucking daydreaming about getting out for lunch or whatever, and then your teacher will ask you something and then you'll kind of make up an answer on the go which you just assume is like suitable for what they might have asked you. That is Danica Patrick. She answers questions like she's just woken up from a nap. God, she's so bad. I'm not even going to get into like the conspiracy theory stuff, like, because, you know, I don't know. Like, I don't even like. What do you say? What do you say to that? But like, this is really like, she's not good, man. Oh, what's going on here? My stream is so behind. I think my stream is like half a minute behind you guys. Because he's not even started the lap yet. He's not even... Jenson Button hates her. Oh my God. Jenson Button. And it's mad because they're always together. I think because they both live in America. So they're just like, okay, cool. We'll just get these two together and we'll like cut down on costs. Here we go. Lewis Hamilton. Looks like he's warming up. Oh, look at... Okay, I'm going to just commentate on this. We've got turn 1 and 2. Relatively easily up to turn 4. Oh my God, he's hit that apex absolutely perfectly. We're not looking at some of the issues he was having yesterday, where he's fighting the car on entry. Still a little bit of a sideways there, but look, oh my God, this looks so good. And it feels like, oh, and again, back just stepping out a bit. The back is stepping out a bit every now and then, but that's good. We don't mind that. We've got grip on exit again through 11, keeping it together. Fuck me. 2 tenths up. Jesus Christ. He is absolutely ragging it. If they were wondering if the engines were up yesterday, here's your answer. Because the wick has been turned up completely. Looking to be his own time of 1:29.6. Lewis Hamilton, oh my God, doesn't even go faster than he could have. 1:29.3. Jesus! Don't piss me off! Huh? They say my goat was washed. Everyone knows. Testing times matter. That's what they all say. Huh? Testing matters. Don't listen to the haters. There's a direct correlation between being fastest in testing and winning the championship. Check the stats. Don't piss me off. Oh, we're out here. Top of the leaderboard. Oh my God. Think of all the dross that we've been fed for the last 3 years. Gruel. Do you know what gruel was? Gruel was that shit that Oliver was begging for more. Please, sir, could I have some more? And they wouldn't even give him that. What, boy? You want more? That's what we were with Mercedes. Even though they were feeding us shite, feeding us gruel. Please, sir, can we have some downforce? Can we have a car that doesn't spin on its own? Oh my God, 3 years. Porpoising. Horrible understeer. Horrible oversteer. Car spinning on its own. No grip. Can't warm up the tire. If it's too cold, we can't get the tires up to temp. If it's too warm, then the tires just eat themselves. That's what we were having to fucking deal with for 3 years. So forgive me if I overreact to some testing times. Forgive me if I feel gassed at my driver. Oh, we're back. We're fucking back. Oh my God. I feel like emotional, bruv. They don't know what we went through last year. They don't know. They don't know. This team as well, who are feeding us gruel. They wanted to kick Lewis Hamilton out. They wanted to kick him to the curb. We could be sitting here today with a Lewis Hamilton-less Formula One. God bless John Elkann. Gunshot for John Elkann. One time. Oh my God. Don't piss me off. Don't piss me off. Oh my God. We are back. We're so back. I'm not even being coy about it anymore. We're motherfucking back. It's scary. It's scary. But not for us. Let me tell you now. Let me tell you right now. Oh my God. Oh, that got me so gassed. Oh. Sorry. That was great. That was fucking great. Oh, that car looks so good. That car looks so good. Oh my God. Right. Okay, I'm done. Thank you for joining me. What are you not saying? Mary said, whoever said Lewis is washed up, then fuck you. Yeah, 100%. This is a proper race car, no doubt. No more vegan schnitzel. Do you know what I mean? No more potato salad with the raisins in it. Huh? No more meatloaf. Oh, they had us smoking schnickel fritz. Are you crazy? Now we're smoking gelato. Don't piss me off. Get the gunshots out again, bro. Huh? Incredible. Oh my God. Wow. Damn it, I'm happy. Me too. Bruv, we needed this, bruv. We actually needed this. We actually needed this so bad. You have no idea. We needed this. More than ever. Like, oh my God. Like, he's just gonna have a car which is a normal car. Fine, it will have its faults. Fine, it might not be the fastest, but it's just a normal fucking car. My God. Oh, I'm struggling to keep my composure. Let's see what George is going to do. He knows I'm obsessed. He's definitely going to try and go tit for tat. Let's see what happens. Jason, good to see me happy. You'll love it. Look, I'm sure I'm sure Red Bull will come along and ruin the day, as they normally do. But for now, it's just nice to enjoy. Yes, Teddy. Um, extra treats for Teddy, 100%, 100%. Oh, swap the Riesling for a Chianti. Oh, oh, what a classy guy. What a classy. Oh, let me just get a gunshot for that. Oh my God. Oh, my God. My God. I am on cloud fucking nine. Oh, I am on cloud fucking nine. My goodness. My goodness. That was good. Yeah. Well, Cameron is a hater, bro. Like, so I'm just listening to this now. Hold on. Sorry, I'm just listening to Karun. Yeah, I mean, look. Oh, Nico. Oh, they fucking charged. Oh my God. What's the, oh, I like this angle. Oh. Do they do they give like I guess you can't really give like timed then maybe they get fined for that? Yeah. Nico Hulkenberg definitely at fault there. Oh my God. Absolutely ridiculous. You can't park it there, Nico. Um, yes, right. Someone mentioned earlier, Alexandra, curious to hear your thoughts on Leclerc fans as an entity. You know what? Like, I think with every fan base, there are like I think you have like the minority who are like the fanatical fan base, and then you have like the rest who are like kind of normal. I think the Leclerc fanatical fan base are very much typically younger, quite young. They are quite young, right? Because Leclerc's quite young, he's quite new in the sport, and because of who he is, how he is, you know, how he looks, and the fact that he drives a Ferrari and all of that, like, you know, of course there are like older. Oh God, quite a whack that Nico got there. So I just think some of the Leclerc fans, the fanatical ones, I think they love their driver, and I think they defend their driver, and I think for sure, I would be a little bit defensive about Lewis Hamilton coming into the team and kind of, you know, Charles Leclerc going from being like the golden goose at Ferrari to not being like an also ran, but like, you know, kind of having to take a back seat when he was probably the main attraction at Ferrari. Even when it was him and Vettel, I would probably say Leclerc was the main attraction at Ferrari. So, and also, I can understand from their point of view as well, them saying, well, we think our driver's world class. And it's almost as if people are saying, well, if the car is good, then Lewis Hamilton's guaranteed to win a world championship, right? So I can kind of understand. I can kind of understand that, you know, and feeling like you want to defend your driver and so forth. So I understand certain aspects of it. I think what I don't like and what I don't understand is these people. Um, I'm glad, Umbrella. Um, I think that um, what I don't like about the Leclerc fans is some of them is they're trying to humble Lewis. And as a fan base, we're very sensitive to people trying to humble our driver. And I think there's reasons why people do it. And I think, not to be the friend that's too woke, but there are racial reasons to why people don't like to see like confident black men, especially like with Lewis. I think that is an issue. I don't know if that's an issue with the Leclerc fans, but there's definitely for Lewis fans, there's definitely elements of like us being very defensive when we sense people trying to humble our driver. And I think whether that's like unconscious bias on the Leclerc fans' part, or maybe that's deliberate, that's going to create tension within the fan base. I think the reaction some of them had to like the reports that Lewis was going to stay in what do you call it, Enzo Ferrari's house was enlightening. I thought that was really weird. Why does Lewis get to deserve that? He's not earned it, blah blah blah. And Lewis was like, obviously Lewis isn't gonna stay there, as in physically sleep in that house. But it's very clear that they are using that as some kind of changing room for him, because the amount of times I've seen him go in and out of that house. I just think, in all honesty, like there were truth to those reports, and I think it's absolutely fine for him to use it. So I think for me, over the course of this season, what's going to be very interesting this season is how much how quick the Ferrari is, and how much Lewis and Charles are fighting on the same piece of tarmac. We haven't seen them race that much, all things considered. I can't think of any flashpoints in the same way that we saw Lewis and Oscar Piastri on the same piece of tarmac like so many times. Lewis and Carlos Sainz, to an extent, we've seen them drive against each other so many times. Lewis and George, I feel like we've seen them drive against each other so many times. Lewis and Charles, I feel like we've not seen that as much. So that will be interesting. There'll be a lot of respect. But I think as the season goes on and we start getting into the championship rounds, I think if there is like, a championship on the line, I think we'll see the real tensions between the fans. And we'll go from there. And I guess that's my opinion on the fans. We'll see. But we'll see, I guess, is what I'll say. But I think at the moment, between the majority of the fans, it's pretty much a love-in. We'll see how once it gets to, let's see, once it gets to Emilia Romagna, let's see. Like, it'll be interesting to see, once it gets to the Italian Grand Prix, how they act around, well, not the Italian Grand Prix, but a Grand Prix in Italy. It'll be interesting to see how they act around then. Good night, Ropo. 2:33, that's insane. Get some sleep. Get some sleep, 100%. I think they're both focused on world constructors first, and then we'll see who's closest to world drivers, then team orders. Yeah, exactly. I can see a situation where team orders start to come into play for one or the other. Part of me thinks that if Lewis was going to win the title, part of me feels like they would make Charles do team orders, but I don't know if Lewis. But even if it was still mathematically possible for Charles, I feel like they would not do what McLaren done last year, and like I feel like there would be team orders. Whereas, um, I wonder if they would do that with Lewis. I don't know. I don't know if they would. So let's see. Let's see. But this has felt like a long session. I'm not even gonna lie to you, bruv. Like, honest to God, yeah. Honest to God, yeah. Like, I feel like that part where there was no cars on track again because of the rain was like just kind of like dulled it. And I also feel like there's not been as much running as yesterday. I might be wrong, but obviously, yeah, there wasn't as much running as yesterday morning because obviously like there was the rain. But yeah, we'll see. Show was pretty aggressive. Oh, Monza 2019. Monza 2019. One of my favorite Lewis Hamilton races where he doesn't win. Him and Charles go at it quite, yeah, like twice. Lewis is just like trying to hunt him down pretty much all race, and Charles keeps him behind him, and he is like on the line aggressive. So yeah, let's see. He's definitely capable. Oh look, do you remember when Charles got done over by Max in Austria? And then he was like, oh, is this how we're racing now? Okay. He's like, okay, now I know that this is how we're allowed to go racing. And then Silverstone just gave him the fucking business. Like, Max versus Charles in Silverstone, it is incredible that neither driver actually made contact with the other. Like, those two were like going at it. It was incredible racing. But Charles definitely capable of getting his elbows out. 1,000,000%. So it'll be interesting to see. It'll be interesting to see. Hombre says Charles Leclerc hope ticket. We'll see. We'll see. Oh, hope ticket's run out. Sorry. This is why John Alcon came for Lewis. There is an argument for that, you know. But sometimes with Charles, I don't think he's had a car capable of winning a championship, you know. And I think when he did have a car capable of winning a championship, as in like when it was fast enough, beginning of 2022, I think we saw some great drives from him, but we also saw those mistakes. And I think they've kind of stuck. Because 23 and 24 he's not really had. I think 23 and 24, I think Charles has maximized the opportunities. Obviously, he's stuck it on pole, and he has a very high or low, pole to win ratio. But I don't see too many races where Charles was legitimately capable of going for the win that he's bottled. I think he's taken advantage of all of the races that he's had a chance to win. I think he's gone on to win them. So it'll be interesting to see this season with the pressure on, with Lewis as his teammate. One thing having like a washed Vettel, one thing having a washed Vettel, and obviously like Carlos Sainz. Lewis Hamilton is a different proposition. So let's see. Let's see. I think Charles is prepared to do team orders. He knows his future is yeah. I think Charles is likely going to end his career at Ferrari. So I can't see Charles Leclerc moving anywhere. So it'll be interesting to see. It'll be interesting to see how that goes. But yeah, you're right. I think he'd be happy to do it. Not happy, but I think it was Carlos. Um, I think Carlos did him over because Carlos had nothing to lose. Do you know what I mean? So I think it was just a situation where, of course, Carlos is gonna fucking, not gonna do team orders because you've just chucked me out the team. I need the drive for next year. I'm gonna be as selfish as possible. So let's see, let's see. Mary, you're going to Silverstone. I need to come. Real fucking talk. I'm gonna be honest with you right now, and like respect to everyone who goes to Silverstone. It's so expensive. Um, so this year, definitely not going to Silverstone. Next year, maybe. Um, but like the price of Silverstone tickets, oh man, I really want to go. I've never been to Silverstone. I really want to go, but it's insane how much it is now. Um, this is 1983. God, you've seen some classics then. Um, Absolute classic races from 83. Wow. So yeah, I think hopefully next year, maybe. Um, but we'll see. We will see. Um, I want to play Anna Jewett. That would be interesting to see when like them actually making music together would be insane. Um, Carlos did well against Leclerc. If you look at how Vettel did in comparison, yeah, but Vettel was washed. Vettel was washed. Um, and I just like, it's insane. Like we used to get cooked all the time on Twitter for like saying Vettel was washed. Like we've received we got abused like quite bad like abuse for saying like Vettel's washed one time. And sorry. And yeah, like I feel like people were really in denial about Vettel for a long time because he did all the stuff off the track. So everyone was like, "Oh, you can't say that about Sebastian." Oh. And I was like, "Well, actually, I can because he's very much an absolute shadow of his former self." I would argue he peaked probably 2013, and I think everything after that he's almost chasing the dragon a little bit of like chasing the dragon of like trying to hit those peaks of former glories. We saw it in flashes at Ferrari. I actually think 2015 he was really good at Ferrari. To get the race wins that he got at Ferrari when Mercedes were at one of their most dominant periods. I thought 2015 was a good year for him. I thought 2017 was good. 2018 though was yeah, like 2017 first part of 18, but Hockenheim onwards 2018 was just, I mean we've spoken about it already. It was just, oh sorry Teddy. It was too much. Too much. Too much spinning, too much um yeah, he just really struggled, didn't he? He just really, really struggled, and um, I think that Aston Martin stint was a cash grab. And he looked depressed at Aston Martin. Like he looked like a driver whose heart wasn't in it. Um, and I think he retired. I think he actually retired a bit late. Um, I think he should have retired after Ferrari, but what can you do? Um, this is what I'm wishing on the new guy. Right, yeah. We'll see. We'll see, man. Like, I think it would be interesting to see, like, you know what? He went band for band with Stroll. Yeah, exactly. You know, he wasn't that guy. He wasn't that guy. You know what? What I would say is what I'm looking forward to, and what I don't think everyone is ready for is a Lando Norris Lewis Hamilton title fight. Like, I don't think people are ready for like. I don't think Lando Norris is ready for it, and I'm just so excited to see Lando Norris is like like because he's going to be asked about Lewis Hamilton a lot, and he's been saying the right things recently, but we know Lando, like, he will put his foot in his mouth, and he's going to do it during a title fight, and it's going to get blown out of proportion, and it's going to make him public enemy number one, and it's going to be so funny. It's going to be so funny. like like he's just like, I don't know, like, honest to God, yeah, like, I don't think the streets are ready for a Lewis Hamilton Lando Norris title fight, but I'm ready for it. I'm locked, loaded, and ready. Sophie, I really wanted to go to Silverstone this year as I just moved to the UK, but we missed out on tickets. I want to experience the cold, mud, British cuisine, and overall attitude of the track. You know what? One thing about Silverstone, and Mary, you know, you'll obviously be able to say, the crowd are incredible. I think it's one of the few tracks where you can really hear the crowd throughout the track, you know, especially like at the race start. You like the commentators kind of have to shout because they're talking not only over like the car noise, but they're talking over the crowd noise. The crowd last year, when the two times the Silverstone crowd, like, where I really recall like feeling like emotional. That first lap in 2021, which for me is probably the greatest Sky Sports commentary ever. Like, those first few corners, I think I can like recite them. I've watched it so much. Oh, George Russell's got some plastic stuck on his car. What a dickhead. He's still trying to get it out, bless him. What's he doing? Is he just going to keep that plastic in the car? George is so aloof. What are you doing with this plastic? So yes. But yeah, the fucking the crowd during the 2021 opening sequence up until the crash, like, you can really hear the roars even after the crash. And then last year, last lap, hearing Lewis going round, I was crying. Oh my God, I was absolutely bawling my eyes out last year. Like, oh my God, I could not believe what I was watching. It was incredible. I didn't think he'd do it. And then, oh my God, like, it was, so yeah, it was so good. I tried to, like, people on Twitter telling me to calm down. I'm not gonna calm down. I'm not calming down. You know? I've just read now the Red Bull has suffered from a loss of engine water pressure that has confined Liam Lawson to the garage. He's only completed 28 laps so far. That's not good. That's not good. Sophie, as you've just moved to the UK, how have you found like the fish and chips? Have you had any pub food yet? Any kind of like British foods that you're particularly enjoying? That would be interesting to know that. Numade, yeah, very happy. You missed the gunshots after the Lewis lap. It got a bit hectic in here. I'm not gonna lie. We got a bit hectic in here, but lovely to see. Don't piss me off always. There's someone here just said lol. Yeah, fair play. Um, so yeah, like it's a bit mad. Like Liam Lawson's not gonna have had much track time in that Red Bull at all, and like that's the thing as well. With the Red Bull being as difficult to drive as it is, um, you would want him to get more track time. Brazil, God, do you remember Brazil 21? Like the crowd. Brazil 21. That was actually like that made me like very like I was like I don't think I've ever heard an F1 crowd like that. Especially for someone that wasn't even from there. Obviously he is Brazilian, we know that now, but I think that was the first time we were like, wow, this is like I could feel it through the screen. But Brazil, yeah, definitely Suzuka. Kota is a great track. And you know what? Yeah, when you're there, you don't realize like the undulations are like, oh my God, the walk up the hill. So we had to do, I think I walked like 15,000 steps like every day at at Kota. Like, because where we came in, where the entrance is, was like, let's say the entrance is like, let me get my screen up. Let's say like the entrance was like here, and the start finish straight is like here, right? So you kind of have to walk round the circuit to get to there. And let me tell you, that incline up the hill to get to the fucking, you know, in the first corner and they go uphill is so fucking steep. It's insane. But then when you watch the cars drop, and you know they drop afterwards, and then they go through the S's, which is based on the Senna S's, not Senna S's, based on like the based on Suzuka, which are the Senna S's, right? That seeing the cars go through there was like so cool. Kota is a really cool track, for sure. Hungary, I'd love to go to Hungary. I really want to go to Hungary. That's like on the bucket list of like circuits. My bucket list of circuits to go to, if I had to give like 5 circuits, not even 5 circuits I really want to go to. Silverstone, obviously. Japan, Suzuka. Budapest. Trying to think now, what tracks do I really like? The rest of them are are tracks that I want to go to because I want to go to the country more than like I want to go to the racetrack. You know, um, like I don't. I'm trying to think like what circuits like I really want to go to because like it's like one of my favorite Brazil, thank you. Brazil. Spa I don't want to go to. You will never see me at Spa. I'm sorry. I'm not paying 4 days to stand in torrential rain. Like fuck that. Like I'm so sorry. Like if that doesn't make me a motorsport purist then fine, but there is zero fucking chance I would pay money to go to Spa. Like I can't do it. I can't. Me in the rain, like not good, not good. I can't do it. But Brazil, I think next year I really want to go to Brazil. I think that's the one where like I really want to go to Brazil. Either I want to go to Brazil, or I want to do the China Japan double header. Like that would be quite cool. But Brazil, I think, is definitely the one. Having a float of him at Carnival is hilarious. I didn't know that they had a float of him at Carnival. I'm going to Monza this year. So that's like another bucket list thing off the list. So that's kind of like I already know I'm going to Monza. Um, so that would be cool. Malaysia, again, I'd love to go to Malaysia. I'd like to go to Malaysia. It's a great circuit. It should be on the calendar. But I'd love to go just Malaysia. It's just an incredible country. The same way, like, I'd like to go to Singapore for the Grand Prix, but really, I just want to go to Singapore. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I'm more interested in going to Singapore than I am going to that particular Grand Prix. Um, but it's a great track. Malaysia's probably top five circuits for me in the world. Like, I think it's an incredible track. Absolutely incredible track. Has Brazil ever had a stinker? No. Uh, Lawson's not out because they've had an engine failure or engine water pressure failure or something. I just read it now. Hold on. Loss of engine water pressure. Um, and they're still fixing it. So not good. Not good for my man. He's only done 28 laps. So not good. I've got a VSC. What's going on here? Um, sorry, let me read these here. Having seen GT and Belgian Tour go through Eau Rouge, I'd love to see F1 go there. You know what, Jem? You're not wrong. You're not wrong there. Like, purely to go to Eau Rouge, God, that would be insane. And I think for me that was like the really cool thing about seeing the cars in Austin, seeing them kind of go up the hill and then come down, and like the way they bounce off the floor and going through the corners, like it was insane. So Eau Rouge, yeah, 100%. Oh my God, that would be, but too much rain. Can't do it. Can't do it. Um, um, Malaysia bad memories for me. 2016. Oh my God, yeah, of course, of course, of course. Yeah, I think they're just testing everything out. Just testing everything out. God, what a day, though. What a day. Testing. One, two, three. The castle. Baku. Baku is so far away. It's like as far away as you can get in Europe, basically. Um, yeah, the castle bit would be cool. I feel like Baku would be a good race to go to. It looks like quite a nice city as well, like architecturally. Um, Architecturally it looks quite good. You know what? Yeah, I was gonna say, Bahrain normally is like a banger race. Like, I actually said last year, if we get a boring Bahrain race, that bodes badly for the season. Little did I know we'd end up with a banger season. But Bahrain is like, I would say like up until 23. So like, if you think about Bahrain races from like when it became the season opener, nothing but bangers. Nothing but bangers at Bahrain. So yeah, I'd be interested. I'm actually like very curious about Saudi Arabia. Like, again, you know, one of those things where like my boy is over there all the time. My boy is over there all the time, and he loves it. He loves Saudi Arabia. Um, and the circuit, well, I guess now they've made it a bit more safe. Like you don't really see as many crashes as you did. Um, Whereas like, and that's the thing, the races in the Middle East are actually like mad affordable compared to like trying to go to um trying to go to like somewhere in Europe. Um, to be fair, like Austin, um, Austin, was actually relatively like it wasn't that bad. Like it was like £330 general attendance, but then we ended up getting bumped into the grandstand. Um, the flights weren't that bad. Like when we got them early, the flights were like 500. And then the accommodation wasn't too bad either. The problem is, it's like you need a car. Like trying to like do Uber or whatever, it's just mad. Like you need a car to drive everywhere. Um, so yeah, interesting. How many laps has Lewis Hamilton done today? Sorry, my F1 TV is just like not coming up. Um, uh, yeah, how many laps? I'd love to know. I would love to know. Um, Bahrain also has enough ladies' bathrooms. Really enjoyed it. Um, like they look like good facilities. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I think I definitely do want to go to a race in the Middle East, at some point. 100%. I'd love to go to a race in the Middle East. Even just like the food out there looks banging. And you know me, I love my food, guys. Love my food. So that's that. Well, look, guys, that's the end of testing. We did it. I made it to the end of the testing. Even though I missed an hour, to be fair. So the afternoon session will have a whole 4-hour session. Okay. I'm gonna go walk my dog. I'm gonna go and get some food. Thank you guys for being with me to witness that Lewis Hamilton lap. That will feed me for months on end. Who cares what happens? But thank you guys for tuning in. Love to all the new followers and subscribers we've got. Thank you to everyone. If you haven't already, like this video so that people who haven't watched it can watch it again. And yeah, we'll give Teddy, come here. Say goodbye. Whoa! Oh my God. I'm trying to get you over my... There you go. There you go, Teddy. Boom. Boom. Where's my thing? There you go, Teddy. Say goodbye. You got anything to say? No? Okay. He's got nothing to say. He's said it all. What's on your face? What's that? He said it all. So I'll see you guys. I'll see you guys for the afternoon session. Love to you all. Mwah. Take care. See you in an hour's time. Keep it on the black stuff. Oh gosh.